Welcome back, everybody.
Wait.
Wait.
Come on. There, I'm good.
He's done
Wait,
it.
I'm stop it. Start it. There, okay. I'm good. It was one of those times where I hit the button again and it took like forever for it to like register that I was trying to record. But I guess it's because we haven't recorded in a while. The computer didn't know what to do.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's like, what is happening? What's going on?
And how was your Thanksgiving?
It was busy.
Any does your family, everyone always talks about all these arguments everyone has on Thanksgiving. Is that a tradition at your house? Everyone gets together and argues?
There's no, not really. So the arguing tradition that we do have is travel in general. Like, is always an argument because my wife and I have two completely separate ideas of what it's like to travel. Essentially, she's very much I will get to the airport at the last possible minute. We've talked about this before. Like, she wants to get there at the last possible minute and not spend any time at the airport. And I'd rather get there 2 hours early and just go sit and grab a drink or something and know that, I'm not missing my flight type of deal.
Yeah. And you have the lounge thing now too.
Well, yeah, problem is when we fly out of Baltimore, unless we fly out of one specific terminal, which I've only flown out of once because like most of the airlines I fly out of it's split up into, there's an A, B, C, and D and E terminals there, but A, B, and C, they're all like connect. It's all one terminal. It's not that big of an airport.
Yeah.
And D and E is literally still connected, but not via security.
Okay.
So it's not that big of a crazy place. However, if you're flying in A, B, or C, there you can wander around them all. If you're flying in D and E, you can wander around D and E. You can't go between the two without exiting security. And the only lounge I have access to is in one of the terminals that I can't get
it's
to.
like an international
which I've
terminal?
flown out of there once, but that's just out of like Baltimore. And then in DCA, which is the main DC airport, I'll tell you, this one is really annoys me because I don't know how the airport is by you, but it has a. Sorry, I'm trying to concentrate on exactly where I left off in this sandstoning that I did because I like don't see. Okay, I did these sides. DCA has A, B, and C terminals. A is like this old terminal that Southwest has bought out, so Southwest owns like the whole terminal. But it kind of sucks from the perspective of entertainment value. It's one big term. It's literally a spoke.
Okay.
So it's one central hub that's just a big circle, and around the circle is all the gates. So right in the middle of it is like one bar, and that's it. So there's not much to do in that terminal, but it's consolidated. It's there. It's just there's not much to do in it, which gets kind of annoying. But you can also, from A, you can, in theory, walk behind this little area and walk without leaving security to get to a small portion of the B terminal. It's a very long walk, but you can do it. But the ironic thing is the B terminal is split up into like sets of 5 or 6 gates that have different security sections that you have to go through. For like B gates 1 through 8, or I'm gonna say I don't know, is one set of security. B gates 10 through 15 is another set of security.
That's annoying. That seems like it's set up really weird.
It is, especially considering you can get into like A, and A can get into the first set of B as well from a very long walk, but it can do it.
Yeah.
But you can't get into all of B together. But parts of B connect to each other, but not all of B. So it gets really weird. And then C is kind of set up the same way. And the problem is there's no lounge that I have access to in DCA, but we give you $28 off of your bill at these restaurants, which is great, but it's only in one section of the B terminal and one section of the C terminal.
Oh, God.
So you have to be lucky enough to be flying out of one of those coincidental sections that you have access to.
You don't have to pay anything for that access, though, right? The card that you the lounge access thing that you have as part of a card or
No,
something.
well, it's through my credit card. So
Right.
you pay, I quote unquote pay for it because it is a credit card that has a yearly fee, and that's one of the perks of it. So
Yeah.
you put that into payment, however you want to put it into payment.
Right.
Uh,
But you're
some
probably
people
getting your
consider
money's
that.
worth either way.
Yeah, I think this card, it's got a really expensive yearly fee, but it's a really weird one because it's at $450 a year. But you get back $300 in travel credit on a yearly basis, and they consider travel. I don't even know what they determine as travel, but it's automatically deducted when it generates a travel related expense. And literally buying toothpaste at CVS counts toward travel related expenses. So within like the first month, I have my $300 statement credit back already because it's so liberal in what it
Wow.
will give you for that. So it brings the total yearly fee down to $150 that you're essentially paying. And it also includes, like, if I have to renew my global entry or whatnot, I have that. It pays for that, and it pays for the lounge. It pays for other perks that it gets as well.
Right.
So it's got enough perks that I feel it's worth $150 a year.
Yeah. My American Express for Delta is the only one I have that has an annual fee.
So does the American Express come with Priority Pass? Because apparently.
No.
So apparently the American Expresses that come with Priority Pass, for some reason, they will still allow you the lounge access, but no longer does that Priority Pass connected to American Express give you the $28 off at restaurants. They have completely de-affiliated themselves with anything except directly with the lounges.
Huh.
So there's a whole
I don't
threads
know.
talking about
I guess
how,
that must not be a Delta American Express because there's not a Delta American Express that gives you access to their lounge.
well, and none of the Priority Pass doesn't give you access to a Delta lounge anywhere either.
Okay.
That I know of. So it's a different thing. So what American Express had going for it for the non like Delta dealing with so I don't know what your thing is with Delta, but it has access also to the Centurion lounges. It's got a Centurion pass, which is apparently all fancy. If you can get to a Centurion lounge, they're better than any of the places that participate with Priority Pass.
Gotcha.
Because you saw the one that we went to in
Oh yeah,
and-
I forgot that we even did that. Holy shit!
yeah, I got you into one of the lounges.
Yeah,
there,
you did. I totally
it-
forgot.
and it was nothing special. There was some food.
Yeah,
and
it wasn't. I mean, it was better than sitting out in the airport.
Right, but it wasn't the Delta lounge with a shower.
Right.
It wasn't. It wasn't to that level. So it's it has its differences. Apparently, the Centurion ones, a lot of them are very much like the Delta lounges or
Gotcha.
something. I've never been in one though, so I have absolutely no idea.
Right.
But yeah, so long story short, to get to that, we didn't get to go spend time in a lounge. And
Did you almost
honestly,
miss your flight or anything?
We came goddamn close. If you talk to my wife, we didn't come close at all. But we got to the gate as they were boarding.
Oh God, yeah,
And
that's too close for my. I mean,
I
you know what? I
agree.
do that at Raleigh sometimes. But I mean, I guess I feel so comfortable in that airport because I've never. But if I ever did go there and there was some weird delay, I'd be really screwed because I do the thing where there's been many times where I've walked through security and walked onto the plane.
yeah, see the problem that we ran into is it was the holiday, so
Yeah.
we left way earlier than she normally would have wanted to, but still way later than I wanted to.
Yeah.
And then of course it was just one of those things. We finally agreed on a time, and we were still later than that time anyway, just because of getting everything together. But then traffic was a fucking disaster to get to the airport.
Mhm.
So it normally takes us 35 minutes. We knew it was going to take longer. The GPS said it was going to take an hour and 10 minutes or something when we left, and it took over an hour and a half.
Oh God.
So it was so compounding. Things were compounding on top of it all. And I get really stressed when we're in these situations, especially when flying with kids. We still have to go up to the counter because you have to check in your lap infant and your stroller. So we have more things we have to do on top of that. So I was really freaking stressed out the whole way driving there because we were so late and there was so much traffic. And then God, I almost flipped my shit because with Southwest, we get to do the family boarding between the A and the B group.
Okay.
Just like whatever number if you don't get in the A's, we can family board between A and B because we're going with with the kids and all.
Wow. So they don't have like just infant in arms first aboard sort of thing?
Not first aboard, no, because they have to give to their like priority A-list customers and stuff, which is fine.
I mean, do they though? Like Delta doesn't. In fact, no other airline I know does.
So keep in mind with Southwest, it's different because it's open seating.
I know. That's why I would think
you're getting on a plane where you have a seat. So I guess they don't really care. People don't get as frustrated with the A list if you get in first ahead of them. Granted, with an infant, I can't go take an exit row seat. You're not allowed to, as well as it'd be unsafe to. So I mean, I don't know, but
I guess you would take the first seat in the plane is what you would do, I guess.
Yeah, between the A's and the B's, it's absolutely fine. Like you're always going to find spots together. You're always going to be able to store stuff in the overhead if you need to store stuff in the overhead. Though I will say with kids, we have pretty much nothing in the overhead because we need all the stuff throughout the flight. So it's all stuffed under our seat because we're going to need it. But we get there, we line up in the section that's not part of the normal boarding because it's kind of to the side waiting for it's where all the families start to like line up and all. And like I said, we got there and everybody was lining up and get ready to start boarding with the A group. And so it's still gonna be like the plane's not leaving imminently because the A group is just about to start boarding. But literally we get in there and we're standing there and she looks at me and goes, "Okay, I'm gonna go grab a sandwich now from the
God,
I'll be back in a minute." And I was like, absolutely fucking not. You're not leaving this this right now. And granted, was there time? Sure, there was time to physically do it, but I mean, I was just like, you got to be kidding me. And I was already like, so I was just a frazzled mess already, and I was just like wanting to get on the plane. Once I sit down on the plane, I'll be absolutely fine, but just do not fuck with me right now. I wish I wasn't so stressed out about flying, but I think it's what it is because I fly my own way. It's like I'm not stressed out about flying at all. The concept of flying doesn't stress me out. Yeah. But I have my own way about me, and when I realize I have no control because clearly she wears the pants in a relationship, that's when I get super stressed.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. God, I guess I've never had this particular problem. Because everyone I've been with is also like, whatever. I guess I've also always had the Sky Lounge too. So it's like, I would purposely get to the airport. Like I have like two modes. It's either I get to the airport like where I'm like getting there and walking on the plane, or I'm getting there going to the lounge for like an hour, basically, planning to eat and all that sort of thing. So yeah.
Yeah. And then on top of all of that, it's fun. Like, I love her family to death. They're great people, but her mom has been at our house basically nonstop for the past month, essentially, because she got a new job that she actually has to go to. It's not like a work from home job anymore. So her mom's been here. Her mom's retired now, and they're planning on moving, to the area soon to, help take, care of the kids, but they're not here yet. So her mom's just been staying with us for a very long time. And I don't know what it is, but all of a sudden her mom has basically taken over in the everything that I do is like wrong type of deal.
Oh God!
Oh no, you shouldn't do that. This is what we've done during the day, Jeff. This is how I've been doing lunches. This is how I've been getting checked. This is how I've been, do. Oh my God! And it is. Like I've been so stressed out and frustrated about that for the last many weeks. And she literally had just left 3 or 4 days before. And this trip was just to go straight back out to her family was in New Orleans. But it was literally just to go back and be with the family again. It's just in a different place. And it was just I just need a break. I just need a break at this point.
Yeah. God. Yeah, I've never been unlucky enough to be in a situation like that where someone else is trying to parent my child and telling me how to parent and that sort of thing.
Well, and part of it, it makes sense to an extent because she's watching both the kids during the day while we're at work. So she literally has both the kids by herself for like 8 hours during the day.
Yeah.
So she's got her own thing going on, and anything that we do that's different than her type of routine does give the kids a different impression of what they can and can't do.
Right.
The thing is, like, I am one of the parents, and this is the routine that we've had for a very long time. So it's not like I'm doing something drastically different than I've ever done before.
Right.
It's just you're doing drastically different things than the kids are used to. And it's working, sure, but it doesn't mean that I have to change everything about what I've done. Like one example was, I got home and Jack said something about, like, can I have some fruit snacks or something? And I was like, no, it's like dinner's, I'm going to get you dinner. We're not going to get these fruit snacks. And then I realized that what I had thought I was getting for dinner, I thought there was some leftovers in there that I was just going to heat up. And it turns out he had eaten them for lunch. So I was like, well, I got to cook actually something else for dinner that's going to take longer. And I was like, okay, since it's going to be a little bit, here you go. Have some fruit snacks, tide yourself over while I'm like working on getting this thing taken care of. And she was like, you can't do that. You know how hard this makes it on me during the day, don't you?
Oh my
and I was
God.
like, what are you talking about? And she's like, you can't just give in to everything that he wants all the time. And I said, I'm not giving into everything he wants all the time. She's like, well, you told him no, and now you're just giving him what he wants. And I said, but there's a reason that I'm giving him what he wants right now. It's because there was an unforeseen circumstance.
Right.
Well, this just makes it really hard for me when I'm taking care of it. And like, when you're not here. And I said, but I am here. Like I'm the one doing this right now. Like, I don't understand. Like, I don't get if is your point that I can never give my son a snack because you're going to take care of him during the day, and he's going to say, well, daddy gave me a snack last night, so therefore you have to do it during the day. Sorry, you're going to have to deal with that. Like, I don't know where you're going with it.
Yeah.
But it's like, I get where she's coming from, but it's frustrating.
Right.
Very frustrating at the same time. So it's funny because I sound bitter, and I'm very stressed about it. Like, I just need a break.
Right. Well, how long is she supposed to be doing this?
I mean, they're moving here.
Oh.
They're looking for a place to move here to be like the full time. And when they are like the full time, like nannies and baby and things like that, sure, they're going to be a lot when they're with the kids more than we are during the day because we're both at work now. Like, Julia used to be home like during the day, and granted, she was working from home, so there was still like a nanny and stuff here. She was still able to interact with the kids. That's different now. So her parents will be the people taking care of the kids for a very big bulk of the day. And I get it. Then you're going to be kind of like the parental figures as well, because you're there. So I get it. Like, I'm not saying that I'm unwilling to budge. It's just the way it's come.
Man, that's going to be a nightmare.
It's going to be difficult because I've already told you that, how Julie and I don't know. Eye to eye.
Yeah.
All, parenting decisions. And
it's going to get really rough whenever there's something where it's like you think one way, Julia thinks another way, and then her parents agree with her. So it's
which is going to be a lot.
Right.
Her dad less so. Her dad more either stays out of it or her dad and I are so he could be my ally in some cases. But
if he's like you, he's going to just give in to his wife.
Oh, he's just going to stay out of it because he's a man who married a woman who he then had 3 daughters with. He has been outgunned for many years of his life. He's learned to just stay out of it type of deal. Right. Yes. Though I will tell you something that, and I don't know if it slipped or what. I've told you about the co-sleeping situation and how I know that there's been they were definitely, their family growing up was definitely way more family bed oriented, but nobody's ever told me. They would never come out and tell me like how long it ever went for because they know that I'm against that concept. Her dad made a comment, as I don't remember what we were talking about. We were just talking about something with beds and I don't know, kids playing on beds or like falling out of beds or something. And he said something about when they were in their family bed share, they had a king size bed pushed up to a double bed so that they had enough room. And I was like,
God.
Oh Oh dear Lord! Like,
God, how did you make more babies when the babies are there for the baby making?
I mean, that is a question that I don't know the answer to, but that definitely proves to me that it was a much longer and more elaborate sleeping arrangement than I was
Wow, that's crazy.
prepared for. So,
Well, at least you stopped the cycle to some degree.
no, I wouldn't exactly say that.
I
So I'm
mean,
gonna try to
well,
slow
your
it
kids
down
aren't
as much as
sleeping
I
with you whenever
possibly
they're
can.
like 15. Like it sounds like that was going on.
I mean, I hope not. Yeah, I mean, Jack has his own room as it stands now.
Yeah.
He ends up making his way into our room most nights at some point, but he is sleeping in his own room, you know.
Right.
So I'm hoping that we broke that cycle. But wow, yeah, that definitely opened my eyes to it. It definitely explains why we have such a difference in thought process and style, because I was raised a completely different way than that.
Mm-hmm. I wasn't even allowed to have lights on. Like I was not allowed a nightlight and stuff. And that's why I can't.
Why?
I don't know. I don't know that one. But apparently my dad was like, no, he doesn't need a nightlight. Like he's going to become dependent on it. So I wasn't allowed to have one because it would make me dependent on it. And as a result, now I'm dependent on darkness because like I cannot sleep if there's any light. So he just ruined me in a different way, really.
That's good. That is kind of interesting. Like, it's fun. I grew up, I wouldn't say in complete darkness. I was allowed to have like night lights and stuff, but I was definitely, hey buddy. I definitely did not have a TV in my room until I was,
Well, I think part of that is our age too. Like you couldn't just hang a TV on the wall like you can now.
That's true. But I was in my teens when I got a TV in my room. I remember a teeny little 13-inch like TV that was across the room. So like smallest thing in the world. But now it's so damn impossible for me to sleep without like background noise or the little bit of light from a TV and stuff.
Really?
Yeah. I can't sleep. Pitch darkness, and maybe it's also my fraternity days did it to me too, but pitch darkness is like it's eerie to me.
Huh. You need that little bit of light, I guess.
I need a little bit of light or the little bit of something. And I'm not a fan sleeper because I know a lot of people who are, and it's not a fan.
I am a fan sleeper. Yeah, that's me. I do like that fan. I do
not need necessarily the whir of a fan. I need something, noise and light.
Yeah, I used to listen to like music whenever I'd go to sleep. I remember my grandma making a big deal about that when I'd come to visit her and saying how there ain't no way anybody could sleep with that stuff on. And now she listens to the radio whenever she goes to bed every night. But
you weren't. What were you listening to? Like,
I remember I was listening to Counting Crows, and I let her listen to this part of it. And there's I think it's Mr. Jones, where it talks about looking like God or like Jesus or something like. I don't remember exactly even the lyrics now, but she just flipped out about how sacrilegious that was.
The good old sacrilegious Counting Crows,
right?
What kind of logs were these in the wall?
Those are dark oak.
Okay, we need to get some more dark oak
there is some planted around here somewhere, like near the pyramid somewhere, I think.
I'm definitely digging these like nice deep holes to replace it with. I just don't have anything to replace it with right now. Have you been in a bed in a while?
I have not. No,
phantoms don't eat you.
Yeah, I'll come do that here in a second. I've been doing Santa's workshop at the school all week, which is the thing where there's a bunch of like Dollar Tree items or whatever, and the kids come and buy stuff for their parents and their cats and their dogs and their grandparents and all that stuff.
They're like $5 a piece.
No. Actually, it's one of the few things that the school does the PTO does. It's not a fundraiser. They actually lose money on it. Because they'll get like things at like $1.05 or whatever and still sell them for $1. And stuff like that. So basically sometimes they go over. Plus they like buy we put them in brown paper bags and then like put a little bow on them and staple them or whatever and put the name of the kid and the name of whoever it's for and that sort of thing. So it's not quite wrapped, but kind of. But yeah, I guess they lose money on this thing. So it's actually a pretty good deal for the kids. Like they get like stuff from Bath and Body Works for like I guess moms, or I guess it could be for dads too. But anyways, and that stuff like price wise is like way cheaper than what you can get it at Bath and Body Works for, because they get a deal and they do it like during Black Friday or something. So, but
So are you hinting?
oh no! The reason why I brought this up, no, I was gonna ask you about Santa.
Really likes this body spray.
No, I was gonna ask you about kid names, because this is one of the things that bothers me every year when I do this thing. Because I'm one of the guys that's sitting there stuffing the bags but writing down names and everything. And there's two things that always happen. One is kids will, they'll give you their name. There's the whisperers for one thing. The kids that walk up in there, they whisper their name to you, and you can't hear them because there's 30 other kids and they're trying to shop and they're all talking and stuff. And then meanwhile, you got this little kid like whispering their name, and you're like, "What'd you say?" But then there's the ones. What I wanted to talk about was so like yesterday, this little girl comes up. And I'm like, "Hey, what's your name?" I was gonna write it on the bags or whatever. And she says Zoe, and so I write Zoe on the thing, and she goes, "No, it's with an I." And I'm like, she's looking at it, I go, "Zoe, where am I supposed to put an I at here? Where do you need an I? I can't imagine."
ZOEI?
No, it was ZOIE.
So that's actually what I meant.
Oh, okay.
I meant to say that. I just ZOEI? ZOIE. That's what I meant.
But I mean, I don't know. And like today there was a kid, Jackson was his name, and it was JAXON.
Jackson with an X.
Yep.
That is interesting. I've never heard that before. I kind of like it though.
I mean, I'm fine with these things. The thing is, you're given a name that has a known spelling to someone, and then it's fucking with people, basically.
But that is kind of fucking with somebody. However, it's fucking with them to show the inefficiencies of the old school Jackson.
Uh-huh.
I mean, you just literally replaced 3 letters.
It's true. It's true.
One.
Yeah. Most efficient of Jacksons, I guess.
They are taking over the world. They're like the Henry Ford of the Jacksons. They made the assembly line. Moved on.
One of the ladies that I know that does all the she's at everything, every volunteer thing. We were talking about Santa, and she's got a daughter that's in 5th grade this year. And I asked her, I was like, "So when did your daughter stop believing?" And she's like, "She still believes." And I was kind of shocked by this. I was like, "Yeah, do you think she's lying?" She's like, "Maybe." She's like, "I don't know." Because she apparently she talks about other kids talking about it, about that there is no Santa and this or that. And she's like, "Mom, they don't believe, and so they don't get any presents, and that's their loss, really. I don't know why they stopped believing, but." Santa doesn't come to their house anymore and all this. And I was like, man, that's just because I'm expecting like this to be maybe the last year for me in the Santa game.
But you don't want to ruin the magic, dude.
No, I'm not going to. I'm not going to.
You're just anti-Christmas.
No. I'm not going to be the one that says anything. I'm just thinking that this is going to be about the point where my daughter's finally like.
I think if you commit, man, you're just a quitter. If you give up anytime, you just gotta.
Well, she wrote a letter to her fairies 2 nights ago, asking because. At the school, they have the elf on the shelf.
The irony that's about to take place in this statement, I can almost hear it, but go on.
At the school, they have their elf on the shelf in the classrooms. And so Crystal got one at her house, too. And so she has an elf on the shelf at her mom's house now as well. And so last year she asked me why we don't have an elf, and I was like, well, I never had one when I was growing up, so maybe it's a thing like that's based on a childhood thing, and like I guess our family just doesn't have elves. And then she's like, well, I have one at my mom's house, and I'm like, well, maybe something to do with her new husband or something. I don't know. So I've just kind of like left it alone because like there's a lot of work goes into this whole elf thing. And I was kind of hoping she didn't really care. But anyways, a couple nights ago, she writes the fairies and's like, "I really want an elf on the shelf at my dad's house. Can you talk to Santa and make it happen?" Basically.
Okay, there's less irony than I was expecting.
What were you expecting?
I literally thought she was going to have written to her fairies asking if Santa was real.
Oh, right. That would be pretty hilarious, actually. I kind of hope that's how this goes down.
The irony about to happen here is just profound.
No,
but that's not where it went.
Oh, so. No. I hope that's a future I get to live through, though. That would be hilarious.
Dear Magic Fairies,
right?
Is Santa Claus real? Please tell me the truth.
Don't lie. Yeah. But so I guess this week I'm gonna get a damn elf. Like, do you know the whole elf thing? Are you up with the elf?
I actually don't know. I never even had heard of Elf on the Shelf, I'll be honest, until a Shark Tank episode where a guy was trying to promote and he successfully got the deal for it and everything, but the Mensch on a Bench.
Oh, I saw this one too.
And he was saying it was all based on the whole Elf on the Shelf concept. And I'd heard the term Elf on a Shelf before, but I didn't know it like meant anything other than I thought somebody literally was like, look, I have this elf and I put it on a shelf. Like, so somebody talked about the Elf on a Shelf. I didn't know it was a thing.
Oh yeah, it's got like its own lore, and like if you touch him, I guess this is the thing to keep the kids from touching him is what this all came about. But if he ever gets touched by human contact, then he dies. So like he can never be touched. Yeah, like you cannot touch him. That's one of the rules. And every day he's just in a different place around your house. He's very mischievous, so he likes to like travel around your house, and you'll find him doing funny things or whatever. When you wake up in the morning, like, oh, look where the elf's at today, everybody. Silly old elf. But that was kind of how me and the woman started talking about Santa. Was apparently her daughter. Her cousin came over to the house and touched her elf, and there was a lot of drama because she killed the elf, right? Because you touch the elf and the elf dies. And so she Googled how to save the elf, and apparently you have to like put it in a ring of brown sugar and sing a bunch of Christmas carols as like a family, and then there's something else you have to do. And so apparently they went through this whole ritual to revive their elf after her cousin killed it by touching it.
So Elf on a Shelf is a cult.
yeah, no, I don't like it. I don't like anything about it. I mean, I guess I'm a hypocrite because meanwhile I'm promoting Santa and the belief in that and all this. But the Elf on the Shelf thing is just like it's too much for me.
It kind of also teaches a bad like story about death for some kids who might take it too seriously because they might like extrapolate it to like, oh, if mommy or daddy dies, we just sing a song covered in brown sugar. And
yeah, I didn't know that you could revive the elf. This was the first I heard about it because last year we went to Renee's house.
You probably couldn't on original lore, but I bet you.
Oh yeah, like there's too many sad children.
Yeah.
Like last year we went to Renee's house and she had gotten an elf for her daughter. And we get there and they're all like moving him and playing with him. And my daughter freaks out. She's like, they're killing him. And I was like, I pull Renee aside.
He's already dead. Too.
Well, yeah. And I pull Renee aside. I'm like, why are you touching the elf? You can't touch the elf. And she didn't read the book that came with the elf. So she didn't know.
All the hearing of Elf on the Shelf that I've heard about since I've learned about it, which has been relatively recently, I didn't know that they died if you touched them. I had no idea that was a thing. So right. I want to know how that Mensch on a Bench works.
Yeah, I don't know anything about. I remember that getting mentioned at on the Shark Tank, but I don't know anything else about the thing. But yeah, Elf on the Shelf is like. It's a genius idea in terms of like capitalism.
Monetary
yeah. Right. Because they have like accessories and stuff like that too. Oh, we were at Michael's 2 days ago.
The Elf on a Shelf brown sugar ritual, like
we were at Michael's a couple of days ago, and they had some like on the shelf, like to be bought. And so then my daughter's like, so these ones, do they come alive when you bring them home? And I was just like, fuck, I don't know this lore. I don't even know how to answer these questions. Like, oh my God. And I was just like, I don't think these are the same as like your elf. And I just left it at that because I did not even know, like, what am I supposed to be saying? I don't know the correct answer.
I didn't know that there was so much ritual about that. And is it non-denominational?
As far as I know, I mean, but I guess, if you're if you're one of the, if you're Jewish or whatever, you don't do
That's
Santa
where
anyway.
Mensch comes in, right?
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, because you don't do Santa or whatever, so there wouldn't be elves either, right?
I mean, but does it have to be
I think it's one of Santa's
based
elves.
on? Is it supposed to be?
Oh yeah,
Santa's
because he
elf? Okay,
reports
that's-
back to Santa every day. And like even today, like during Santa's workshop, there was a kid misbehaving, and the teacher was like, "Our elf is watching y'all." And so it's basically like that's part of the lore. Instead of like Santa can't always be watching because he's busy, so he's deployed these elves.
So wait, does she have one in her classroom? You said?
Yeah, every teacher's got one.
Isn't that a little?
Well, that's the thing. So we brought this giant Santa this year to the Santa's workshop, and like she asked the principal, she's like, "Is it cool if I set up this giant Santa?" And the principal was like, "Yeah, we just can't display anything that's religious." So like, it is a bit absurd, right? Like, it's like no, we just can't have Jesus, but just Santa is cool.
I mean, I do the people, like, you hear the stories about the people that are out there that somebody's like Happy Holidays and they're like, it's Merry Christmas, and they get all mad because the tradition's ruined. Like, and it's just like, no, it's like you really need to think about it from an outside perspective. Like, everybody is not Christian. Like, they don't have to follow your ridiculous belief in this fake Santa Claus.
Right.
It's
now I do remember there was a letter that got sent home whenever she was in kindergarten that was like, if you don't want your child to participate in any holiday, just let us know, basically. So I think that's one of those things.
We'll kick them out. We'll send them in detention.
I remember when I was growing up that there was kids that got pulled out of the classroom and like went somewhere while we did like Santa shit.
And they never came.
Right. And they killed them. But anyways, we probably should wrap this episode up here. We've gone on too long.
Okay.
But yeah, we'll see you guys next time.
See ya.